Hello and welcome back to Redemption HQ, and I have another cinematic adventure just for you. Today we're going to be talking about Universal Soldier, the cinematic source book. This one's a really, really awesome book. This is one of the coolest expansions, and we're going to be talking about its partner in the next episode, the Total Recall, which is kind of like the organic opposite version of this. But here we have the Universal Soldier. This book is cool. I'm telling you right now, this book is worth the purchase because one, the Universal Soldier property is a really cool cinematic, just a really cool cinematic adventure. You got Dolph Lundgren and gosh, why is his name? Jean-Claude Van Damme. There we go. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Sorry, just any more of my coffee here. Let me take a quick sip. Got to refresh with that E-Tank here. So yeah, as you see here, that's the cover. Let's see if they talk about cover artist. Cover artist is David Chen. David Chen did a great job with this. No lie. Honestly, just the general look of the book in and of itself is cool. I love the border with the wires and kind of the techno babble all around it, you know what I'm saying? That's what it says to me. We got the foreword is written by Chris Guber. We've got the introduction, which talks about the movie here, which was released in 1992. Released in 1992, Universal Soldier stars legendary action movie veterans Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren as soldiers Luc Devereaux and Andrew Scott, respectively, who, after killing one another in the Vietnam War, are reanimated by a secret military program that seeks to create the ultimate soldier. Meant to be robotically obedient. Devereaux and Scott break their conditioning as memories from their previous lives come flooding back, and while Scott continues his maniacal killing spree, believing that he's still in Vietnam, Devereaux escapes with a journalist investigating the program and begins to regain both his memories and his humanity. Scott eventually comes after Devereaux, but the latter is able to defeat him, and the details of the incident are released to the public. So the funny thing about the movie is there's been multiple, but so you can watch the first one, then you can watch the second one, but then the third one, the director of the third one says, no, the second one didn't count, mine counts. Then the fourth one comes out, and they go, the third one doesn't count, mine counts. So the whole continuity of it is really weird. Allegedly, there's supposed to be a franchise reboot coming, in the works, but, it's Hollywood, so who knows where anything's going to land up. Here you have more of the some history and the world building with, like, Black Tower Legacy and cybernetic progressions and the Unicell program. You have different corporations: Aegis Robotics, BioCyber, Helix Synthetics, Maxim Nero, Nexus Solutions. Here you have the origins. So you have origins and mechanics. You got the cyborg, which is cool. Okay, so you have from there you have cybernetic ability scores as they list. These are based on the level of strain that you take. So if you have minor strain, that's your minor enhancements. Major is your pretty full of cybernetics, and an extreme is you're almost more machine than man. You have your synthetics, so you have like mechanical nature, metal frame, short circuit and shutdown. You have your starting array for your stats. You have Unisol, so if you were a soldier, part of the Unisol program, you'd be in there. You have more backgrounds: corporate legacy, early cybernetics, grizzled veteran. You have profession for cybernetics engineer, surgeon, indentured warrior, mercenary, off the grid. Here you got the classes. You have billionaire, which is cool because money is your power. Cyber modder. So billionaire, all these classes we've talked to into some great extent already throughout our redemption classes and into the vaults. So you can find all the details in there. Except for Networker, we are going to get to Networker soon because we're in the final stages. We're wrapping up, as it stands, the Return of the Living Dead. We're going to finish doing our next two previews with that. Then we're going to jump back into the Charming Heroes, which we're going to do the class from the core rulebook. Then we'll get into this. But Networker is a pretty cool class. You got into the feats here. You got connections and cybernetic tolerance, heavy kicks, cyber modder training. You have more advanced, more billionaire stuff for the multiclassing. Of course, more multiclassing. You got cybernetics. Now this is one of the coolest things right here. Now, as a kid, I was a big fan of Cable from the X-Men. You know, he had that cybernetic arm, which I always thought was really cool. And I'm gonna give you my comic book recommendation at the end of this, so I'm gonna talk to you about that. But here we got, yeah, they do a whole breakdown, and so over here you have like surgery complexity, so you have majors, minors, trivials, things like that, and they have the prices and the strain. And again, strain is how much your body can take, which if you take on the origin, you can have maximum, you can do way more stuff, although it sets you back in other ways. But yeah, they have other things like an extra arm, extension fingers, extension arms, and a manipulator array, a multi-tool hand, a power arm, which is really cool because it gives you increased melee damage, so you can punch really hard. Power hands and stabilizer arms. They have more. They also have internal ones for an adrenal booster, or special organs, or an extra storage of blood. A detoxing liver, which can help you heal from poisons and toxins, and other lung filters, so you can't get gassed. They have some leg and foot enhancements, so you can run fast, or you can have a super jump, and even potential limited flight. You can also hide weapons inside your legs. There's mental enhancements, so you can overcome fear and emotion, any kind of emotional effects, and or use your ability, your brain to surf the web, which is always really cool. They also have sensory enhancements, so, better sight, better hearing. You can targeting, for targeting. They also have nanite blood, so clotting nanites, nanites, things like that to help fight against diseases. Skeletal enhancements, keep yourself from breaking. Cybernetic skin, so if you don't want to wear big bulky armor, you can just have it in your skin, which is always really cool. You got like camo skin, fiber skin. Of course, they have other ones too, like a backup battery, ID chips, and flashlights, and other things like that. Just, off the side there. So your equipment, Cybersmith packs and Unisol packs, Doctor packs, Influencer packs, Rebel packs, a whole breakdown of that. New weapons, such as a nano katana, rail crossbows, cluster launchers, flechette rifle, rocket pistols, sonic cannons, new explosions like EMP grenades and explosive arrows, cluster rockets, weapon accessories, like a heads-up display. They have that special head, if you see the cover of it right there. It's got built-in camera and all sorts of sensors and communication devices. It's pretty cool. You got your scouter. So you can see if somebody's over, power levels over 9,000. And they got other things too here, like surgeries, all that, extra rules. Here's the Game Master advice for conspiracies and exploitations, humanities, how to handle billionaires or even trillionaires, people who go above and beyond normal wealth levels. What are new limitations that you might have to put on it? They have the rules for creating new cybernetics, as well as adding contacts, because billionaires and networkers specialize in contacts. It's one of the two biggest things that are really the main focus of them, is having that ability and calling in extra favors. And here there's technological marvels, so these are things being rewarded with cybernetics as like winning cybernetics in through combat or through infiltration and such as that. So it gives you how to determine all that and what levels they'd be, you can use it for. More cybernetic examples there. Other marvels. Here's some adventure ideas, which is really cool. So you got Amnesia, The Auction, a Black Site, Corporate Espionage, High Person, Knowing Too Much, a Mind Hack, a Resurrection, a Lockdown, a Traitor. And right here they have the cinematic adventure that you can actually play through of Return to Eden. I'll go ahead and read this first paragraph, or the first chunk right here. So Return to Eden begins with a lie, a technological demo led by Dr. Sharp in the Mountain View, California, the heart of the Silicon Valley. A cryogenics corporation known as Helix launches a new research project to the world, Eden's Gate. For the first time since the foundation of cryogenics, reanimation of the deceased is possible, and Helix engages in live demonstrations to awe the press. As the scene is set, players take on the role of Unisouls, infiltrating the Mountain View complex from a high-altitude drop with a single mission: get eyes upon the secrets of Helix before it's too late. In this session 0, each hero comes onto the scene in the middle of the action during the infiltration against elite private security. It is within the laboratory basement that they discover Helix reanimation technique is a Unisol 2.0 program, refined and improved. So there you go. If that's something that would be interesting to you, I would absolutely recommend it. They have more here. Frozen in Hope, Biting the Hand That Feeds. Let's go ahead. I mean, it's a pretty sizable adventure right there. Blood and Bullets, Act number 3. So you got... So from pages, so if you're the GM, you got from pages 51 to 87. It's pretty substantial. Yeah, that long of reading and preparing. I think you can get a pretty good, I apologize. Several really great sessions out of that. Alright, so here we have the supporting cast that comes out of it. These are characters that the GM would be running. You have some robots, which are always good to add into any adventure. Here's some Unisols. These are other characters that you could be playing with. You got key heroes. These are the ones from the movies, like Luke and Veronica, Andrew Scott. And see, if you look, Andrew Scott's considered an MMA fighter, and Luke is considered a brawler. So you don't have to play as character classes straight out of this book to enjoy it. You can be a cybernetic agile warrior. You can be a cybernetic heavy arms out of the cool rulebook too. You can be a cybernetic master even. It's totally worth it. Cybernetic sleuth. How cool is that? Yeah, you got all sorts of recording, cybernetics, optics, and things like that that can help you solve your crimes even better. You really want to push it, if you really want to push it into another different theme, 2099, was it Cyberpunk? You have your Cyberpunk 3000, that kind of stuff. I almost said 2099 because I'm thinking of Marvel Comics. But you could definitely do that. You have your pre-generated heroes, so you can always print these off. You can always print these ones off or fill out a sheet and give these to players at conventions, which is always really cool. Helix Executive, and then there's your back. Again, you can always check it out. Now, this is no longer in print. They have stopped printing this, but you can still get access to it if you subscribe to the Sidekick. You can also still find it on Amazon. They do still have copies of it for sale on there, or you can even check your local gaming store. They might have copies of it. I got mine from a gaming store, paid $24.99. I went on Free RPG Day, which hopefully, if you're watching this, there is a Free RPG Day coming up very soon. I want to say it's June 21st. It's a Saturday. It's absolutely worth going. They have all sorts, depending on which store, it might be different from each store to store. You may have to check in your local area who's supporting it, but you can find all sorts of cool stuff. They often have, D&D minis. They have different free adventures to different RPGs that are out there. Pathfinders, they're a big supporter of it. You can get stuff from Green Ronin. They've got, I believe, they have one for the Expanse this year. It does one every year. They've got one, I believe it's this year. It's another G.I. Joe Transformer crossover. I'm pretty sure it's another one of those, which are always helpful. Energon Universe is a sweet ass comic book. I absolutely recommend it. So you can always check that out. And now, for my comic book recommendation, we have Cyberforce. If you're into cybernetic superheroes, Cyberforce is highly recommended. You can find... Now, I got mine off of the Kickstarter campaign. I absolutely had to back it. There was no way I was going to let that slide. And no way. I wanted the cool slipcover. But you get that rockin' 90s storytelling. And look, right here, extra arms. He has a cybernetic arm, and he has 2 extra cybernetic arms on one side. That's Stryker. You can do like cybernetic claws. Velocity down here. She's got enhanced legs, so she runs super duper fast. Heatwave, he's got all sorts of energy and can fly. But he's got energy manipulation, which you can do. You can get that. You can get some like laser beams and such. But yeah, this is what I would recommend. I recommend getting this and another cybernetic hero that you can look up. You can find the books on eBay I don't have the book right. I don't have any of the books right in front of me, but I got one of the toys. I got Cyber Frog. This is from Ethan Van Sciver. This was 90s, from the 1990s. He's bringing it back. You can find his collections of the 90s comics in a book called Warts and All. I do have a copy. I just don't have it with me right now. But yeah. How cool is that? That's a little sticky tongue. If you check out his eBay, sometimes he has special sales on them. I got a whole pack of them, of these, for $10. There was like 15 total, for 5 for shipping. But cool little toys. He's got action figures and mugs. He's got PVC statues. He's going to be having some race cars coming out. But yeah, cybernetics are just a staple of that mid 80s into the 90s. An absolute staple. So that's one of the cool things about Universal Soldiers, that you can always reskin it. You can also combine it with different things to create your own superhero modern fantasy setting, which hopefully if you stay with us here on this channel, there's going to be some news revolving around that hopefully soon. We'll let you know. So with that, folks, I'm going to bring it to an end. So please make sure to check out the rest of our episodes. We've got, again, there's breakdowns of the classes where we go through all the core rule book classes and all the subclasses inside of the vault. And we're going to be going through, as time goes on, we're going to be going through in the outer space classes that are going to be coming out. We're going to be going through the Unearthed Arcana. And pretty soon we're going to be going through a preview of the new Return of the Living Dead classes. Those are coming up here soon. And with that, I want to wish everybody a great day and see you on the next one. Goodbye.